Get it. I don't know how to do it.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Corey. We got
and it's your girl Mignon, and we're back for another episode of Tea
and Worship. You act like we don't have a show to do. You up here just.
We want to thank all of our viewers who tuned in with us last week.
Definitely, we want to thank all of you. We definitely appreciate all your love and your support. We want to remind you to follow us at The Hope TV on Instagram. Make sure you like. You see that like button right here. Share, comment, subscribe. Share till you can't share no more. And make sure you watch us every Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here for more Tea and Worship.
And y'all, we have an amazing show for you today. We have great tea for you. And then, of course, we have phenomenal music at the end of the show.
Yes, and we still want to highlight any Black-owned tea companies out there. So make sure you hit this comment button right here and let us know any Black-owned tea companies that you might know, because we would love to put a spotlight on your business right here on our show. Now, Mignon, we know that in a couple of days, there's a special day.
My birthday already passed.
I'm aware, but it's not your birthday. But it is a special day for you, because in a couple of days we will be celebrating Mother's Day.
Absolutely, we will be. And guess what, Corey?
What?
So, I have,
7 kids.
Shut up. I have 3 kids. And I never thought, I love my kids dearly, but I never thought that what I love so dearly, I could hate just as equal.
What you hate?
Not my kids. I really love my kids, not that. But I'm talking about music. My kids never stop playing and singing, to the point to where when it comes to having to learn stuff for ministry or at church, I don't want to listen to no music. I'm sorry. I'm tired of listening to Ty Tribbett. I'm sorry. They sing him all the time. They know his moves. And JJ, I love JJ, but I'm sick and tired of hearing the music because my kids don't want to stop. I mean, they literally have a conversation. GJ is JJ. Gavin is Ty Tribbett. And then Gavin is James Fortune. They literally go into different rooms and say, you know what I'm talking about? Gabriel. Show out them G's and I got confused.
Mignon, the bottom line is Happy Mother's Day to you. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, the grandmothers, the surrogate mothers, the bonus mothers, the foster mothers, the expecting mothers. We want to wish you a very happy Mother's Day. And to those of you who may be like me, who may have lost your mother, also we want to make sure that you know that our prayers are with you. We know it can be a hard time. However, but if there are any special moms in your life, whether they're friends or family members, make sure you celebrate them so it can kind of make you feel a little bit better. But we're definitely praying for peace for you as well.
Absolutely. And what better way to celebrate Mother's Day than with a mother? Oh my God, our guest today, she's anointed, she's powerful, and when she gets on the stage, she takes complete control.
Shows out.
And she don't care.
Shows out.
I mean, completely.
Shows out.
And she don't care who's looking, she don't care who know it, but she loves God. So look, let's welcome our guest, Melissa Bethia. Hey, Melissa. Yeah, welcome, honey. How you doing today?
I am doing amazing, exceptional. I am so happy to be with both of you. We're going to have a good time today.
We are.
Absolutely. I'm ready for it all. I'm ready for everything you got. So look, we know we're celebrating, Mother's Day weekend, and we know that you have a beautiful daughter, and you have been very transparent about your experience with infertility. So we want you to share with our Tea and Worship viewers, a little bit of your experience. And then if you feel it, just encourage those that may be going through the same thing.
Now, I'm going to try to tell this story without getting full, because I get full when I think about what God has done. But my husband and I, we didn't start trying right away. You get married and you think, we'll have a baby. We don't want to do that right now. So we took our time. About 5 years in, we said, okay, we're going to start trying. And we got pregnant right away. And we were so excited. Come to find out, we lost that pregnancy. Got pregnant again, lost that pregnancy. And at that point, I'm frustrated, I'm angry, I'm trying to figure out why. I don't know anybody. Well, actually, I don't know anybody in my immediate family that has ever dealt with infertility. So I'm trying to figure out what is the problem. Doctors couldn't tell me anything. I'm going for testing. I'm not getting any answers until I got a word from the Lord. And a prophet came to me. He said, God's going to give you a miracle in 6 months. And that was in August of 2016. God's going to give you a miracle in 6 months. I said, oh, God, I thank you. And I was so excited, snotting, crying, done fell out the chair, acting a fool, everything. Because I knew God was going to do it. By the end of that year, I was pregnant. I said, oh, thank you, Lord. God, you did it. Within a week of me finding out that I was pregnant, I began to lose that baby. And I said, God, you told me in 6 months you were going to give me a miracle. What is happening? And so, so now, you know how the saints do. I'm believing God. God gonna do this thing. I'm listening to every YouTube preacher I can think of. I'm listening to people in Africa. I don't even know how to pronounce their name, but they talking faith, so I'm listening. It was a mess, okay? So I'm like, God, you have to do this. So I'm praying, believing God, lost the pregnancy. I was angry. I said, God, I'm a worship leader. I'm faithful. I'm not perfect, but I'm committed. Why did you allow this to happen to me? And I lost that baby in January of 2017. I said, well, God, you know what? You said 6 months. So you have until February to prove yourself. I didn't say 6 months. You did. Well, I tell you what. In February came and went. March came, and I'm feeling strange. I said, God, don't play with me, okay? That's how I talk to God. I said, God, please don't play with me because I don't have the time. I took a test. Turns out I'm pregnant. I didn't get excited because I've been down this road before, right? I didn't get excited until I went to the doctor and they told me when I conceived. That lady said, oh, it looks like you conceived in February. I almost jumped out the chair. I said, God, you are a faithful, faithful God. That is my miracle child. The doctors still don't know why. As a matter of fact, in that season, I'm going to try to be sure, in that season, I would be in faith. I would be praising God and shouting. But in my mind, I was at the hospital where I wanted to deliver my baby. Mind you, I have already miscarried. But in my mind, I'm praising God at the hospital where I want to deliver my baby. Because I believe that the Bible says, wherever the soles of your feet shall try, he's going to give you the land. Well, the land I wanted had to do with the baby. So I shouted in the spirit. I would dance. And I said, God, I'm going to give birth at JFK Hospital. Don't you know, I gave birth to that baby at JFK Hospital near my house. And I switched doctors, because that first doctor wasn't talking right. And I strolled around. You know, they say you got to walk around with the baby. I was walking around the hospital ward with that baby, and I walked past the doctor that didn't give me the right answer. And I said, look, I had a baby. God is faithful. And I'm getting stirred up because God can do it. If there are any mothers who are suffering with infertility, God has gave me a passion for this. And now he has used one of my greatest trials to pray for people who want to conceive. And I've seen miracles. People have been calling me saying that I'm pregnant now. I don't know what happened, but God did it. My husband and I, we've been trying for years, but we're pregnant now. God will use the thing that made you cry. He will use the thing that tore your heart, and he will allow you to be a conduit of miracles. And I'm so thankful that God has done that for me. That's just a little bit of my testimony.
To piggyback, I know, to piggyback to those of you that whatever you've been praying for, like whatever you've been struggling with, whatever you've been asking God for, it seems like it's not happening. What you have to do is remember. If you could just remember what he said, speak that thing back to him. He can't lie. And that's one thing that you said. You said, God, you said 6 months. You spoke that thing back to him. You got to make this thing happen. Speak back what God has said. And the only way you're going to know what he said is if you have a relationship. You got to have a relationship with him to even hear, to even know that it's him talking. Because you best believe the enemy is going to send people to take you off, to throw you off. But if you know his voice, all you got to do is remind yourself and remind him of what he said and watch that thing happen. All right, I'm done.
I love it. And I love what you said, Melissa. Doctor, you see, this is my baby that you said, this is my baby. Okay. All right. Now, we also want to wish you a happy Mother's Day in advance.
Thank you.
We know that many of us know you from singing with J.J. Hairston, of course, and Greg, some of our great friends. And we also know that you sang with Hezekiah Walker, Lance Williams. Um, but you, of course, many viewers probably know you from singing with JJ. What was that experience like? Like, how did that even come about that you started to sing with JJ and YP? And what has that been like?
Well, it started, wow, I've been with JJ for years. I always forget exactly how long, but it's been well over 10 years. And I was singing at a conference, and I sang with Lance Williams. That's who I was singing with at the time. And I sang my little song. And next thing I know, JJ was like, "Okay, you think you want to sing with us?" And I'm like, "Well, don't you threaten me with a good time. Let's do this." You know, and what I love about JJ is he's very respectful. He didn't just, try to snatch me from somebody, talk to Lance, all that kind of. And I sang with Lance until we stopped singing. Really, if Lance called me today, I would sing with them. But then I started singing with JJ, and I've been there ever since. And it has been such a wild ride, incredible. I will always honor JJ Hairston because he has been so kind to afford me the opportunity to be in places I would have never been if it wasn't for him. So I thank God for just him sharing, his ministry with me. And then I got to meet Mignon and Greg and all those awesome people. So it worked.
Might I add, singing with you is phenomenal. Like every time you get the mic, like there's just a shift that happens. You're such a powerhouse and you carry such a heavy anointing. And you sang with, like you said, you sang with so many amazing artists, as a background vocalist. So my question to you is what prompted the shift? What prompted the shift for you to go solo?
I would say it was time. It was just time to do that. You know how you hear something for so long and you know what God is speaking to you. You know that you have a ministry outside of the ministries that you operate within. So you just kind of wait for that season for God to open up that door. And when it opened, I just ran with it. I said, "Well, God, I know this is what you call me to do. So one thing I'm not gonna do is allow fear to keep me from destiny. Let it be something else, but it won't be fear." So I said, I'm just gonna go out here and I'm just gonna do it. And God, you're gonna have to hold my hand. And he's been like literally blowing my mind. It's only the faithfulness of God.
That's awesome. And one thing that I love is seeing some of your videos online that where it's just you and you're singing a worship song or a praise song, and as if there's a million people in the room, and you can't even tell that it's just you and the camera and maybe like whoever's in the background, but it seems like you just singing for a room full of people, and your passion and your heart for what you're doing, it exudes through the camera basically. So I just want to know, how is it that you're able to do that, and then how is it that with your new single, because many just said that you stepped out with I Owe It All, where did that even come about?
Well, I just want to kind of go back to the first thing you said about those videos and being alone. I learned that through prayer. See, a lot of people feel like you start on the stage. That's not where you start. You start in prayer in your secret place, in your closet with God. And that's where I learned to give my all. Because nobody's looking, nobody's paying attention, nobody's thinking about you. It's just you and God. And in those moments, I give God my everything. And so when you get on the stage, it's just a reflection of whatever you've been doing in private. So if you're not doing right in private, it's going to show up in public. If you are doing right in private, it's going to show up in public. So when I get out there, whether I'm doing a video or I'm at a church or whatever it is, it's just an overflow of what I do with nobody's paying attention, because that is what really matters. So in keeping in line with that, I Owe It All came about because a friend of mine, he's always been my friend for years, but he just recently became my producer. And his name is Clarence Singleton. He's amazing. And Eric, they are so awesome. They are my producers, and they are incredible, and I thank God for them. And they were literally angels in my life. And they wrote this song. And at first, I was just referencing it because I've been referencing songs for Clarence since we were kids. So I'm just referencing the song for him. And then he goes, Melissa, I think you should do this song. I said, well, you know, that ain't a bad idea. Because it literally, that was pretty good. I said, because it literally ministers my life. Everything that has ever happened to me, I owe it all to God. Even the bad stuff. My father died when I was 13. I wasn't quite sure how my life was going to go. I could have been a statistic, a fatherless daughter, but God gave me other dads. I owe my life, everything to God. He has literally performed miracles for me every waking moment. The little things, God has done it all. So I owe him everything. And that's really where the power behind that song comes from, because of the miracles that God has done. I can't take the credit for nothing. God is worthy.
And I'm a witness that literally what you're saying, you know, about how you are when you know, on stage is a reflection of who you are, you know, when you're away from the people. Like it's facts, because literally when you get up to sing, it's like you're not worried about the runs, the rips, and what people expect, but it's like, here's my heart. You know what I'm saying? Here's God. All I'm going to give you is God. And you literally captivate and you change. Like people literally leave change. I literally stand there with my mouth wide open. So if there was ever a time where you felt like, you know, you weren't in the right place or you weren't effective, let me just tell you that every time your mouth opens, let me tell you something, that power, the change that happens, ma'am, stay there. That place, stay there. There are so many of us that need that. What you give, what you share, we need that. We need that to live. We need that to make it. We need that.
I'm about to get tore up here. What you're saying to me, you don't know what that means to me, because we're our own worst critic, right? So I say to myself sometimes, I say, well, you know, Melissa, you can't really sing like that one, and you know, you don't really do all that fancy stuff, but I just know what I'm called to. And if I can just get up there and worship God, and somebody decides that I want to know God better because all I did was worship, then that's enough. That's enough for me. And what you said, I'm so full. This is going to be an ugly interview, child, because I'm over here full. Oof. Oof. Thank you, Minnie. Oh, God. Sorry, Corey.
I can't take her nowhere. I can't take her nowhere because she don't know how to act. And see, God, I guess, got Melissa up there too.
I'm going to put us back on a lighter note. All right. So it's evident that you're a singer. So were you raised in a singing family?
Yes. So my mom sings, right? And she actually recorded, you know, a couple, but she never really made it. She didn't really do it professionally. But my mom sings, and I came from a singing church. And Mignon, you know how that is when everybody in the church can just sing, and the choir is rocking, and the musicians are rocking. So that everybody could play an instrument. That's how I was raised. So the directing, the learning the parts, and all that stuff, we were just raised like that.
I was the daughter that didn't want to sing. Was that you? Because I don't want to.
I told my mom, I said, Mommy, I don't want to sing. She said, why? She said, because I don't want to hear everybody saying, sing, Melissa, sing. Like they say to you, sing, Barbara. I can't stand it. I said, Mommy, I don't want to do that. I didn't like the attention of it. But clearly I changed my mind somewhere along the way. And here we are.
Hey, Melissa.
Right.
So Melissa, speaking of singing, Melissa, recently I saw a video where you and Candy West, who was just on our show a couple of weeks ago, saying something has to break. And I want to know whose mind was broken to put you two together on the stage at the same time. Because I almost exploded watching the video. Literally, almost internally combusted.
So here's the thing. This is the first time Candy and I were in Houston together for a conference. And this is the first time we have sang co-led worship, right? We have been in the same place. This is the first time we've co-led worship together. And we were sound check doing that song. And she said, Melissa, I want you to kind of sing a little bit at the end with me, if you don't mind. I said, of course, that's what we're here for. Let's do it. When we finished that in sound check, I said, yeah, this is going to be ugly. This is going to be a problem. This is going to be terrible because her spirit is so just off the charts, and her gifting, her anointing. And when that thing came together, it was a mess in there. I was a mess. I'm telling you right now. I barely made it through that. It was awesome.
I was a mess watching. I was just like, who did this? Who is responsible for this? I need answers.
Look, we're talking about your social media. I want to talk about your social media presence. Ma'am, I be hollering. I mean, you give us laughter, you give us God. And for instance, like this recent post that you shared, you had an all white, and then the slip, and you talking about holiness. Ma'am, holiness is still right. Look, so where did this comedy side come from?
Well, I was raised in a family of fools. That's just what it is. Okay? From the mother to the father, to the sister, to the brother, to the aunties, ain't nobody got their mind. Everybody's mind is ate up. So I have no choice. And then I married somebody whose mind is ate up. So I just didn't have no choice but to be, this is what y'all get. I don't have no help nowhere. So, and you know what? Honestly, laughter is how we make it through the toughest times in my family. My dad, before he passed away, he was a diabetic, and he had his toes amputated. So you know, we were all like sad, feeling sad. Please tell me why my brother called him Sugarfoot, and then what do you do with that?
Why?
What do you do? So that just goes to show you that's where it came from. We are nuts. My whole family is crazy.
Wow. Now, earlier, Melissa, you were talking about worship and the importance of worshiping in your private time, and just the importance of having that relationship with God. And we know that in 2018, you started the Kabod Institute. What can you just give us some information about, like, why that came about and what's the purpose?
The Lord gave me the Kabod Institute as a place to foster worship leaders, worship team members, musicians who wanted to have hands-on training. So I teach a little bit. It was like I think I did a 3-week course, and I teach a little bit. But what made it different is that I did demonstration and allowed everybody to participate in that. And for instance, 1 week I did a course on prophetic worship. And I taught some principles of prophetic worship and, the way that God can use you and what things mean. And I said at the end, all right, guys, everybody, now we're all gonna prophesy. They were looking at me like, what? I just wanted to come to the class, girl. I'm not here to be Samuel. But at the end of that day, people who never thought they had it in them were prophesying. And my goal with the Kabod Institute is to teach people that it's already in you. It's already in you as a worshiper. You just have to have somebody to kind of spark that fire a little bit. And it's not about who you see on the stage. That's not what it's about, because there's power in the pew. So you have to know that it's in you as well. And so that's just part of my assignment, to teach people to just be their very best, not try to copy anyone else, but be who God has called them to be. So I use the Kabod Institute to kind of to teach the principles of worship to anybody who wants to learn.
That's beautiful because I've learned that having something like that is so important, and that's one of the things that I didn't have, growing up, and it's so important, especially with the younger generation coming up, to see, well, to understand that they don't have to try to mirror somebody else. You have something special inside of you. God placed what you need for your journey inside of you. So to have something like that, I feel like it is phenomenal. As we're approaching to the end, I would love for you to share, if another one of those workshops are in the making, can you share, when that is, and then also share with us some new music that you have coming out. Share us where we can go and get it and go and listen to and support Melissa.
Okay, well, at the moment, I don't have another session for Kabah Institute on the books yet, but I have been harassed nicely by my students that I need to have another one. So I am going to kind of get on that, which will probably be all virtual, considering the times, but we're going to work it out. So when I get that information, I will definitely put it out there. As far as music is concerned, I do have a single, which we talked about. I Owe It All. It is on all digital outlets. And I'm not just saying it to say it, but I believe that the song will bless you. I believe that the song will put you in the spirit of gratitude. Because the Lord ministered to me about that word, about being grateful. And that is the key to miracles, being grateful and having gratitude towards God. So hopefully, I know you all will go out and kind of listen to that and let me know what you think. I would love to hear. And that's not the end, though, because we cooking. We cooking. We trying to get this thing going. So you know what I'm saying? Got a little season, a little Lowry season salt, a little hot sauce. We in the kitchen. So soon, I'm going to have a new single coming out, and I'm so excited about it. It is a song of hope. It is a song of encouragement. It is a song that will make you feel like you can run through troops and leap over walls, because you know that God is going to do something great in your life. So when that comes out, I hope y'all stand with me, support me, and just help me to just spread the message of God's love.
Absolutely. We are looking forward to what you have. Look, we want to thank you for joining with us today, Melissa. To all of our viewers, thank y'all for tuning in. Didn't y'all enjoy that? I mean, we got laughter, we got worship, we had a revival. Today was amazing. So look, y'all know where to find us every Friday night right here on the Hope TV. And at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, grab your popcorn, your candy, your hot dogs, and join us. We want to stay connected with you.
And while you got all that junk food, make sure you also hit the like button. Make sure you comment, that you subscribe, and share with everybody you know. Make sure that you tune in after our show to Friday Night Live with E. Dewey Smith. But before we do that, we want you to stay tuned right now. Don't go nowhere, because we have a special performance of I Owe It All, the new hit single by Melissa Bethia, coming up right now on Tea and Worship. We'll see you next week. Thanks for coming.
Praise, all of my life I owe to you. All of my worship, all of my praise, all of my life I owe to you. Jesus, I owe it all to you. a brother.